When it comes to marriage, we are often told that 1 plus 1 is 1. That means when you marry someone, you and him or her becomes 1. Like, yes. But even when you are doing this 1 plus 1 equals to 1, there are some things you have to do for yourself. Like, 1 plus 1 being 1 doesn't mean that you now become welded together and merged together to the extent you lose who you are. Everything will become we. No, there are certain things or certain times when I has to come in play. And in this video, I am going to share the boundaries you have to set in relationships and in marriage. Welcome back to Glodikani Marriage School, the place where we help the unmarried to choose right and to keep the married from running until they must. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do so. And if you're not sharing our videos, you are making a mistake, because there are some people out there who will gain so much from what we are sharing on this channel. So please share our videos, drop your comments, we can interact. Okay, you can send us email if you have any question about marriage or your choice of partner. You can send us email at glodikani@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. Now let's go back to the topic of today, which is the boundaries you have to set in your relationship, in your marriage, to make sure you don't lose who you are after saying I do. One of the boundaries you have to set in your relationship or marriage is the individuality boundary, like respecting your individuality. Look, let me tell you, a relationship is made up of two unique individuals who comes together, bringing out the best in them to make sure they present a near perfect whole. Yes, I don't want to say a perfect whole because we cannot get that perfection, but a near perfect whole stems from you bringing out your best, I bringing out my best, and we are bringing it together to create that near perfect whole. Now, if you want your person to be lost in a relationship because you are busy pursuing we instead of I and you, that means that thing that should have been brought together to create that near perfect whole will be missing. So no matter the relationship you are into now, if it is just a dating or you're in marriage already, your individuality is so important. You don't want to lose yourself. Yourself is needed. That you, who you are, is needed to make that relationship work. One person's desires, one person's perspective, one person's opinion, one person's maybe ideology should not overshadow you guys. It should not be the one that is being pursued while the other person is relegated to the background. No, uniqueness has to come from both of you. So if you really want your relationship to work and you don't want to create an unhealthy imbalance that will lead to frustration, anger, bitterness, and all those rancor that you see in relationship, make sure everybody respects each other's individuality. Now, what do I mean by respecting that individuality? It means accepting that your partner has his or her own interest, her own opinion, her own path to work in life. Yes, you guys are together in a beautiful, harmonious marital bliss and all that. But we all are unique and we have our destinies to fulfill. And it's like this. Yes, sometimes it interacts, but even after the interaction, there has to be like this, a pathway, because everybody came, individually. So since everybody came individually and we are all unique and pursuing our own distinct destinies, let us learn to appreciate our partner and maybe the way he or she is, accept it, celebrate it, and then try as much as possible to do what? Exist together. Another boundary you need in a relationship or in your marriage is emotional independence. I've often emphasized on this. Your happiness is not reliant on your partner. Like, you don't expect your husband or your wife to be the source of your happiness. For goodness sake, if you give them that burden, that means you are just, you are just too selfish. Your happiness should be from you. Like, yeah, if you're happy, it flows to them and all that. But it's not when everything that goes wrong in your life, you blame your partner. Like, if you are not happy, you think it's his or her fault. Or if things are not working well, you blame him or her. No, 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 no. You have to be emotionally independent. When you are angry, you take responsibility for your anger. Don't lash out on your partner. When you are sad or when you are even happy and everything, take responsibility for it. All those things that makes you sad, it's your work to avoid them. Anything that makes you happy, it's your duty to pursue them. It is not supposed to be on the shoulder of your partner. You are overloading that person. What emotional independence will do for you is it will enable you to find happiness within. Like your happiness is coming from within you. You should know what you need to do to be happy. And when you are happy, that happiness will now do what? Flow into the relationship and everybody around you will feel good. It's not for you to expect the relationship to be a source of your happiness. That means if it's not going that way to you, your partner is not trying enough. What happens to his or her own happiness? Like if you are busy expecting him or her to make you happy, who will make him or her happy? I'm not saying you should not share your emotions with your partner. I'm not saying when you are sad you should not show that you are sad. But what I'm saying is if you're sad, don't start throwing blames. Or if something else is making you sad, you are now tying it to something maybe your partner did. No, no, no. If this situation makes you sad, find a way to avoid it or find a way to make sure you come out of that terrible sadness you are feeling at that time. Don't don't start blaming or making your partner uncomfortable. That's not growth at all. Another important, very important one that we often overlook is your right to personal space. No matter how much you are in love with someone, no matter how much you value them or how much you say you cannot live without them, you need your personal space from time to time. Let me tell you a story about my own experience. One day, my husband came to me. We were just sitting down talking, and he now asked me, let me use pigeon because that's what he used to ask me that question. He said, I they worry too much. He asked me, I they worry too much. I they worry you too much. When I looked at him, I was like, this guy is looking for what I will say now, and he will start, I just knew he wanted me to say something. And I said, okay, let me just use this scenario and answer your question, all right? Anytime you pack your bag and travel, I will just breathe down like this. When I said it, he said, you be mumu. I said, yes, I agree. But you see, what I told him was, when he is not around, I feel relieved. It's not because I don't want to see him every day. No, it's because I need some space to, because when he's around, my goodness, I will think about what he's going to eat. I will think about everything. So many things. I'll be careful of many things, in fact. So whether you like it or not, it can be so stressful. So, but whenever he travels like this, my dear, I don't even think about food. I don't think about these special dishes I have to prepare. No, anything that is in the fridge, I and my kids will just eat it. Some days I will not even cook. I will not cook any new thing. I'll just go to the freezer and take what's available and we'll just improvise and go to bed. I will rest. Like nobody is stressing me, nobody is telling me, or I'm not looking at anybody's face and all that. Yeah, that's personal space. You see, I know some people may not be so lucky to have husbands that travel and everything. Some people even ask me, how do you even manage your husband is always traveling and traveling? I will just be looking at them and say, I even love the travel. So sometimes, from time to time, he will leave the house and I'll become the only person in the house and nobody, like, I'm not even catering to anybody except myself. Like, I will have and enjoy my me time, me, myself. You see, so as someone as an individual, you need your personal space. Like, so you don't need to be encroached upon, like everything you want to do, your decision, somebody is there telling you this one is the best for you and everything. No, 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 no. You need that time for yourself. You need that time to think. You need that time to worry less. You need that time to, if you must worry, let it be for yourself. Like, oh, this is me. This is my life. Believe me, we all came here individually. Marriage may bring you together to be one with someone, but you are still a unique individual with your own needs and destiny to fulfill. So that personal space from time to time is important. Women, you should learn to give your husbands their personal space. Men, you should give your wives their personal space so that they will have time for themselves. And let me say this, if your partner is telling you that they need space, they need personal space, it's not like you need to travel, or it's not like you need to leave the house or anything, but sometimes you allow them to be themselves and focus on what they want to do for themselves. If they are saying, I need space, please, I need my personal space and everything, don't see it as them being selfish, or they don't want to be around you, or they don't care about you anymore and all that. No. The only people who can even think like that are those emotionally lacking individuals. You know, those individuals that need somebody to pamper them. I don't know, to just make them feel useful. You know, some people psychologically feel useless when people don't, prioritize them. That is psychology. Like maybe something may have happened when they were young or anything. So you see them being so clingy and everything. They are so emotionally dependent on whoever it is they are dating or married to. That's who they are because of maybe experiences and all that. But someone like me, I don't really need an emotional boost. Like I know what makes me happy, what makes me sad. I can be independent emotionally, physically, everywhere. So I don't really need all those clingy kind of things. So as a human being, if you are emotionally independent, that means you will value your personal space from time to time. Another boundary that is so important in a relationship, whether dating or marriage or anything, is this thing about past experiences. Look, everybody is a product of their experience, background, experiences. What we started learning from childhood, or where we came from, or the things that happened to us, or the things that we, the things we experienced, the things we saw, the things we felt, and everything all contribute to shape who we are today. Now, if you are in a relationship with someone, please don't always try to maybe look down on them because of their past experience. Whatsoever it is that they've experienced in the past and that they value so much because it made them who they are, please don't go there. Don't start kind of criticizing or trying to say what they experience is not what it's supposed to be, or trying to judge them based on their past. Please don't do it. Let's talk about the present. I know some people in relationships that will always want to use your past to judge you. Like they judge their partner. Anything that maybe when they are having disagreements, you see them, is it not because of this? Maybe he or she opened up to you when you got married or when you are dating and everything, and say, this is what happened to me, or this is what I experienced and everything. Then instead of you to just listen to them and then keep it in your mind or whatever, it has now become a weapon. Every little thing you go to their past, you bring it out and say, is it not because of this one? This is what happened to you. No wonder. No, oh my goodness. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Let's focus on the present. Let us focus on what is happening now that we have met. Let me tell you, everybody has their own vulnerabilities. We all have our scars. Like there are things that has hurt us. There are so many things that we've experienced that we may not want to share, but peradventure we share them. We don't want to be judged based on them. Nobody wants that. Let's leave the past to the past. Respect my past experience. I will respect your past experience. If I've not shared it, fine. I think it will be safer. But if I have shared it, you don't have any right to be bringing it up, both the husband and the wife. Let us respect that boundary. One of the biggest boundaries, or should we say the boldest boundaries, is financial independence. Money, money, money. Money makes the world go round. Money is the root of, love of money is the root of all evil. Money answereth all things. Now, when it comes to a relationship, financial independence is so, so, so important, so, so, so sweet, and I will always advocate for that. This is exactly why I've always said both the man and the woman should always do something that will make them money. Like individual money. I don't believe in any woman depending solely on the husband, or any man depending solely on his wife's money. That one self, I don't even know. But for a woman to just be so dependent on the husband's money, it's so wrong. Apart from killing him before his time, okay, except he's making millions, that there are men who are earning big money. So if your husband is earning big money and you want to stay at home and be squandering the money, it's your own cup of tea. But remember, apart from just spending the money, there are so many things that financial independence does for you. Okay, so is a boundary that is so necessary, all right? Even though your husband is going to give you all the money, you as a wife should be making your own money. There's this pride that comes from earning money. Maybe you've not felt it before, unless you've not made money before. Personally, I'm always proud when I make my own money, all right? So financial independence is so important in a relationship. Now, what can financial independence do for you? If you're financially independent from your partner, you can make your own economic decisions without anybody telling you what to do. Look, in my own marriage, I make money, my husband makes money. Yeah, he gives me money for running of the house, but I make money myself too. So anything that has to do with all those economic decisions, who I give money, who I invest in his or her life, what I buy, what I use my money for, my husband doesn't even care. He doesn't even ask me, how much do you make? He doesn't even ask me, what are you even using your money to do? Never. I've not heard that man ask such a question. Openly, he gives me money, yes. Sometimes I will even beg him money. Like the other day I was telling him, guy, this one, if you give me feeding money now, to you, you've given me money. Oh. I'm not feeling your love now because I feel that as you make money, you should be giving me some money. Like, hey, babe, use this one and make your hair. Babe, use this one and buy clothes and everything. He asked me, so if I don't give you money now, that means I don't love you. I said, of course, now, if you love me, you give me money. No matter how much I make, that your own will be very sweet. He was laughing and all that, you know. So if you are financially independent, look, the money, the kind of money I'm asking is just gift money. It's not like I cannot make my hair. It's not like I cannot go to the market and buy every cloth I want. Like whatever I want to buy, I can. You see, but sometimes I'm just teasing him and everything. But if I'm not financially independent, that means I can't even make my hair unless he gives me money. And any day I make him angry, he will not give me money to make my hair. Another thing that financial independence does for couples is it gives everybody a voice. Okay, like yeah, I'm independent. I have some money in my account. Yeah, even though I don't have enough money, like I can't compare my money to my husband's money and all that. But I also have little money that if he does something I don't want, I can tell him this one you did is wrong. Oh. This one you did is wrong. I'm not going to be afraid that maybe if I say it or if I voice my opinion, the man will not give me money to give my children food again. You can imagine that. I will not. If that's the case, there is no way I will tell him my mind. Even if he's messing up, I will just keep quiet and be swallowing everything. In fact, I will accept everything he does, hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because I don't have anything to offer. I can't even take care of my own immediate needs. I can't even take care of my children's needs. No. It shouldn't be so. Like, because I'm making some money for myself, if my husband makes me angry one day now and I decide to punish him, I can get all my children, go to one hotel, pay for it, and we stay there and he will be calling us to know where we are. Although I've not done it before and I'm not encouraging anybody to do it, I'm just saying this is what financial independence can give you, little power, even as a woman. Then as a man, when you are financially capable, when you're financially independent from your wife, of course, that respect that you want so much as a man will be there automatically. Now, let me share a personal experience about financial independence. Last year, during my birthday in October, my husband surprised us in the office. He spent so much money, you know, buying things for everybody, cake, food, and it was something wow. Like I was so shocked, I was surprised because he never hinted me and I didn't see any sign of it. All right. So I was in the office that day and he planned with other people there and they surprised me. It was so wonderful. I was so proud and so happy. So this year I was now saying I'm going to retaliate and all that. I'm going to organize a birthday party for him. You know, I could only say that because I knew I can raise some money for it. When I told him, because he's always traveling, his jobs can take him out without notice. So I had to tell him, I even told his boss and said, look at what I'm planning. And the man said, okay, it's a good one because my husband has not done such a thing before. And I started doing some arrangements with my own small money, like I was getting some things prepared, done, and everything. So he now assisted me, and his boss also assisted me, to make it a reality. But you see, even though then he was now telling me, guy, hey, it's not about taking from a millionaire. It's when you want to pay a millionaire back. I know this one will be here, this one will be there. It was all fun anyway, but I could only start that process. I could only initiate that program, and then maybe before that will started helping me, I have already started spending my money. But if I didn't have any money, if I'm not financially independent, How can I come to my husband and say, "Okay, I want to do your birthday. Oh. I have a budget of 500,000. Can you give me the 500,000?" Oh my God, that's so funny. So, in your relationship, in your marriage, this boundary has to be there. Both partners, everybody, this financial independence is a must. Apart from being emotionally independent, financial independence is good. Now, when it comes to describing it as a boundary, don't always try to encroach into your partner's decision when it comes to money. Like, no, 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 no. If he or she is making the money, he or she reserves the right to know how to use the money, to know how to manage the money, and to know how to spend it and all that. Okay? Because if you start telling someone who is making his or her money by himself how to do it, that means you are like, encroaching into areas you're not supposed to touch. One other important one I want you to always remember is that you have the right to grow personally. Like, your partner, someone, your wife or your husband has that right to do what? Pursue personal growth. I've often heard about so many women who say, immediately I married, my husband stopped me from working. My husband stopped me from schooling. My husband said I cannot work for another person. My husband said I must be a housewife. Oh my goodness, this is so wrong. As an individual in a relationship or a marriage, you should allow your partner to pursue personal growth. The fact that this person is now in a relationship with you doesn't mean that they should lose who they are. They have their own interests, they have their own passion, they have their own things. I mean, they have the things that moves their lives forward. A relationship or a marriage should not bring a stop to those things. It's so wrong. I've often heard, in fact, I've seen so many women who lost their career goals just after marriage because they fell into the wrong hands. Because yes, that's what I say. Like, my husband will always tell me, the pace at which you're growing, the pace at which your business is evolving, or these your hobbies and everything is evolving, is so slow for me. I expect to see you do more. I expect to see you at this level and everything. And when he says it, I'll just be looking at him because I've heard a lot of people who say their husband stopped them. You see, it is so wrong. As an individual, whether you are married or you are dating or whatever, you have the right to pursue your personal growth. If I am a man, I won't even stop my wife from pursuing growth, because the more she pursues her personal growth, the more she gets involved in things that makes her, happy, the things that makes her, feel like an individual, the more the relationship evolves positively. Because when you stop her and she sees her mate doing this and that, and she sees her mate and compares herself to her mate, man, before you know it, this root of bitterness will bear fruit. Like, it will start springing forth, and you will just be seeing another her. Like, maybe sometimes you say, but this is not how I saw you. You've changed, you've done this, you are no more you. Why? What do you expect? When you've made all effort to suppress her, to make sure she is not growing to this, you are not even allowing her to fly. I read somewhere that if you love someone, like, love allows you to grow wings and do what? Fly. Like, be who you are, be the best you can be, fly to the height you can be. It's not about caging. If you love a bird, you don't cage a bird. You allow a bird to spread its wings and fly and be free. That freedom, everybody wants freedom. That's why some people would rather not marry now than get married and be tied down. You see, because nobody is respecting the other person's personal growth. We have the right to grow. And if you're in a relationship right now and your partner is stopping you, or anything that will make you explode, like your potential is exploding, that partner is suppressing it. Look, if you've not said I do, run away. And if you said I do, you really, really need to sit up and say no, enough is enough. Now let's talk about this right to say no. Every individual in a relationship or a marriage has the right to disagree. In the case of men and women, a man whose wife says no, this is not right, some who are not emotionally mature will take it as disrespect. No, every individual, like I said, is unique. We have our own past experiences. We have formed our own perspective about life. We have our own opinion. Marriage should not remove that individuality from you. And don't try to be that person who will suppress someone because they are married to you. It's so wrong. Let me tell you, there's this saying we often say, we disagree to agree. When you say something and your partner said, no, it is not supposed to be like this, calm down and find out the reason. And maybe by the time you guys are rubbing minds together, you will arrive at a very good, decision that will suit both parties. But when you are this kind of person that anything you say goes, who told you you have all the answers? Who told you that your own experience is enough to cover both of you? Like, I don't, you get what I'm saying? Your own experience is your own experience. Like I used to tell people, before you tell me how to marry my husband, please come and live with him for 2 weeks. So that when you know who he is as an individual, you can now tell me the approaches to handle an individual like him. Because you cannot use what is happening in your own home to compare what is going to happen, because my husband and yours are not the same. They are from different backgrounds, they have different experiences, and they have formed their own diverse opinions stemming from these experiences. So don't always want to have the final say. Allow your partner the right to do what? Disagree. And when you guys now disagree and start sharing reasons and weighing options and everything, you will come out together to form that right decision that will work for both parties. I know so many women who are in this kind of relationship where they can't even say no to their husband. They can't even disagree only because they want to pursue peace. Let me tell you, if you are doing this all the time, trying to keep peace and everything, one day you will explode. Because the more you are doing it, allowing it, resentment is growing in you. You see that love you're claiming, you see that peaceful marriage or peaceful home you think you want to keep, that resentment will grow to the extent that one day you will be so embittered that the action you will take will even shock the devil himself. Yeah, haven't you seen some men who come out and kill their wives? Or haven't you seen some women who come out and poison their husband? You think that decision came from maybe one action the man did? No, 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 no. It must have been years of mounting resentment, bitterness, resentment, hatred. They will not show it because they are pursuing peace. So if you are even a man, you should allow your wife to disagree, so that when she is angry, you will know. You don't want that quiet, snaky kind of peace that somebody may be, presenting a peaceful front, but inside the resentment is growing, and one day she may just poison you to death. That's my own opinion. I'm going to round this up by telling you a story. I know of a woman, a grandmother actually, and a grandfather. Like this, the couple, they are old now, they have grandkids, all right? But do you know that the wife is living alone in her own room and the husband is living alone in his own room? And she is not even interested in anything that has to do with that man. Like she will tell the children, if they want to buy televisions for both of them, she will say, buy for him and buy my own. In fact, it's so bad that the woman said they should get a house help for the man, someone who will be taking care of the man, someone who will be cooking for the man. The woman is not even interested in doing any of those things. And you see, according to the stories, this man showed her pepper when he was young, cheating on her, beating her up, and being so high-handed and everything, mishandling their relationship, manhandling the woman and everything. So you see, maybe the woman allowed this whole thing, putting up a peaceful front, enduring, building her home. Like everybody will tell you, if a man is misbehaving and you complain, they will tell you a woman builds her home. Sometimes I wonder, how can you build a home with somebody who doesn't want to build a home? How do you do this magic? Like, that means what they are telling you indirectly is that you should allow everything. You should swallow everything as a woman. It is just in your hand to forgive the man, to accept, to in fact to support his idiosyncrasies and everything. Maybe that's what the woman did all the years of her youthful life. And now that she's old, and now the man is old and doesn't have power to be a man again in front of her, she has decided to show forth herself. You see, now who will blame her? So my point exactly is this: even as a man, even though you know everything, even though you have the final say, even though you are the father of the house, the head of the family, you must be respected and everything, sometimes allow your wife the freedom to do what? Disagree. When she has disagreed, ask her reasons, and maybe you will find out that she has some points to share too. So there you have it, marriage scholars. You've seen the rights and the boundaries you have to set for yourself in a relationship. And the fact that you are married to someone doesn't mean that you have to disappear. I mean, like, you give up who you are, you won't be yourself again. Like me, I'm Glory, and my husband is Joseph. Like, Joseph shouldn't turn to Glory, and Glory should not be expected to turn to Joseph. No, 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 no. That's not how you foster a healthy relationship. Everybody is an individual, and everybody has to bring out their unique positive traits to make sure they create that near perfect whole. I'll be seeing you in my next video. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so and follow me on social media. I love you. Have a lovely day.